Oh, okay. We are live. This is another test stream. We're only doing it on Twitch today. I still have stability issues, but yeah, I'm gonna keep trying things until we can get back to where we used to be. So, we're gonna try some King of Fighters 98 today. UMFE, the better version of the updated version of King of Fighters 98. Now this goes way back, so I'm gonna find a patch list. Final edition. Change list. Well, we're going to find a character that we're gonna try to oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. Let's get this link. Let's put the link in here. We're gonna find a picture. Am I even Oh, hi, hello, Getselius. Hi, just lurking. I got a fun meeting to be in. Good luck with your meeting, Getselius, and lurking is welcome. Wow, Darren Mersham, damn, you got here. I haven't even mentioned that I was gonna do another test stream. Yeah, this time we are doing Twitch only. I wanted to see if doing only Twitch helps, because we've been doing that for this whole year. So I figured, well, why don't we try going back to basics for this one? So let's see how that works out. I have a special surprise today for a really cool mechanic that is tied to one of the characters in this game, King of Fighters 98. King of Fighters 98 is generally considered to be a very traditional fighting game with, like, you know, character gimmicks and stuff that is like just par for the course. There are some unique things about the game, obviously, because we're talking about King of Fighters. There's a lot of like crazy characters with crazy abilities, and there are some combo rules and mechanical rules that are not seen in Street Fighter. But there is a character in here with a crazy gimmick that I haven't even seen used in Guilty Gear or like even an Arxis game. We're talking Rachel controlling the wind as a gimmick to like change how momentum works in the game. Blaze Blue level. Like that character, I've never seen anyone do that either. Like literally control the wind with a button press and like change character's momentum, give herself more range on our DP or stop somebody from dashing in. So I'm just gonna find a picture and I'll post that. Let's see. I'll post that, and there we go. So let's see here. Let's put that. Okay. Now let's get some music in here. I was thinking of a soundtrack before. Maybe. Oh yeah. Let's do this. Let's see here. Beautiful playlist. Number rivalry versus town.
Grammarly does more than catch error.
Yeah, I know.
And really good. No, perfect.
Grammarly. There we go. Yeah, the chat works. I did some tinkering. I didn't want to... Let me... Yeah, I did some tinkering. I didn't want the... We're gonna play Cthulhu tomorrow, and I couldn't have all of these issues. I was able to locate some of them. I was able to sort out some of them, so things should be better right now. We're still in the yellow as it seems, but yellow is good enough. Yellow worked for us yesterday. It's the red that I'm worried about. So yeah, we're gonna play some King of Fighters 98, and I will show you a character gimmick that is so fucking unique. I don't know of any other character in any other fighting game that actually has this thing going on. It's actually been in King of Fighters 98 for like a really long time, and it's in the SNK wiki. Isn't it just Dan? What, Dan from Street Fighter? So yeah. Let's see. We don't actually have that much. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think we actually have that much to prepare. The music playing in the background is from Real Bout Fatal Fury, Real Bout the completed AST version. I'm not actually sure when you get to hear these songs, because the full songs are not in the PlayStation port, nor are they on the arcade original. Either way, that actually takes care of that. So let's get this thing going. Let me just... Yeah, okay. King of Fighters 98.
It all began in 94, and rolling in 95. Square Laser in 96, came to Japan in 97, now it comes, and here we go. KOF this year again. I think some sound is 1998.
Okay, so this is King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match Final Edition. And most people would know about King of Fighters 98 having the Ultimate Match. You can get it on basically everything. And I mean everything. You can get King of Fighters 98, at least vanilla version, on like iPhones. You can get it on all the way back to the PS1, the PS2, the PS3, the PS4, all of those consoles, all of the Xboxes. I think the only you have to go back pre PlayStation 1 before this game stops showing up on absolutely everything. It is basically SNK's crown jewel when it comes to fighting games. That's why they keep porting it over and over. So we talked about King of Fighters 2002 yesterday. And while that game has technically several title updates, they're presented as being, you know, the original on arcades, and then the Dreamcast port, which was presented as, you know, the Dreamcast port, but it also added King and Shingo, and then they took that, they ported it again, and it's on the PS2, and they added Wild Ori, Geese Howard, and Gainit's what is his last name again? Gainit's Leonard, blah, Leo's something. Yeah, Gainit's was an odd pick. He is actually extremely popular, despite being a character that only showed up in the plot once. And then he immediately got his ass handed to him by the hero team, despite having the Soldiska projectile spamming that we all know and love to hate. Like, frack that guy. So yeah. So King of Fighters 2002 it later evolved into a game called King of Fighters Neo Wave, which is both a very interesting game and also like absolutely terrible in some regards. It has the worst music in the series easily. It has a HUD that is so bad that the PS2 port had to remix the HUD alone because it was so offensive to your eyeballs. And then they did King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited Match. But either way, the thing is, when you look at the SKUs, it looks like basically, because King of Fighters 98 got like the similar treatment where they did like a Dreamcast version that had 3D backgrounds. They had a PS2 port that had extra challenge modes with like you could unlock the bosses, stuff like that. So you know, the various ports had like extras, but when it comes to King of Fighters 2002 that was the one they did. That was like the ultimate version. They didn't like, you know, they just did the one, and then they were done. and King of Fighters 98 looked like it was going to be the same way, but then Final Edition showed up, and Final Edition has some extra shit. They actually changed quite a lot about like character balance and stuff, because King of Fighters 98 UM, just like 2002 UM, has some issues. But this one of the main culprits was this guy. They Wolfgang Krauser was a character that was added in this version. Oh wow, I totally botched the color picks. Let me do that again. Let's see, let's put him against Gieshauer. There we go. So yeah. One of the key additions was the boss team from King of Fighters 96. And Krauser quickly became the #1 top guy in all the tournaments. This guy is ridiculous. He has a bit of everything. He has like tiger shots, low and high tiger shots. You can make them fast, slow. He also has like this stupid flying kick. He has counter moves. If you hit him while he does this, he can he tosses you. He has that's not how you do it. Let me just check the inputs. Let's see here. Half circle back forward. Yeah, command throws. Command throws on this guy. Let's see. Yeah, this one. So this character has everything. He has a DP, he has a high fireball, he has a low fireball, he has what is essentially a Tatsu, he has command throws, and amazing normals like this thing, super long range. He has this thing, also like crazy long range. And that's not even the worst part. Like he can do some like basic combos. Like he has a freaking special move. He has a special move that cancels into another special move. Like check this combo out. Like what is that? That is not a combo rule. You don't get to cancel special moves into more special moves. But this guy can, because he is Krauser, and Krauser is the strongest man alive. He also has the notorious, let's see here, I'm still getting used to the controls a bit. I played on the PS4 yesterday and now I'm playing on the PC, so let me just make sure. Yeah, he has the Kaiser Wave. He has the Kaiser Wave. This thing. You see the size of that thing? You can also charge it up. Like, you see how fast that fucking fireball moves? Like, can you even make out the shape? By the time you make out the shape, he's already hitting you. This thing is crazy fast. You see that? And you see the size? The fireball is bigger than him. The fireball is bigger than him. He also has this super awkward that move that they had to nerf. So he has the free half circles back move. It's let's see if I can do it. Because man, you need to churn that butter. Free half circles back. Most of the time you will get. I don't think I can spin the controls that fast. It's the Gigatech Cyclone. Yeah, free half circles back. I'll see if I can do it. You have to really churn that butter. Let's see if I can use my right hand. This move is crazy hard to do. There we go. That's what it looks like. It's a command throw that pulls you in because he creates a tornado, so he can just pull you in from further away. Either way, this is actually not the character that I'm gonna show off. I'm just gonna show off a Krauser. Like, he was single-handedly the reason why they made this version of the game, because of how busted he was. He also has the Unlimited Desire, which had a glitch attached to it. This thing. This is like the best fucking Rekka. Or Rambu. The best Rambu. This dance combo routine he does. So, yeah. This, he was able to do some weird glitch with this when he did this by pressing multiple buttons, and it would, like, always work. Either way, so the nerfs that they gave him was, like, across the board. Like, this does less damage, 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 this has more recovery. The double kicks, this one has more startup. They just nerfed him across the board. Yeah, the free half circle DM that isn't like crazy high. The reason for that is that it is an unblockable attack that can suck you in from like pretty far away, and it's still considered a throw. So it's one of those things where if he actually buffers the damn thing properly, he can like get you with this, and you block, and then the throw happens, and you just get sucked in by an unblockable super. But yeah, either way, we're not here to talk about this guy. I'm going to show you the uniqueness of some of the characters. This is the guy that we're gonna talk about. But before that, let's warm up a bit and talk about these guys instead. So this is the US sports team. They are never in King of Fighters games. They've had, I think, only... They were in King of Fighters 94, 95, and this. Like, across 14 games, they were in, like, 3. And they were not in Maximum Impact either. So that's, like, 15 games, 16, 17 games. They were in 3 total. Yeah. That's they were at least in 90. Oh wait, were they even in 95? Is this it? Are they just in King of Fighters 94 or 98? Because yeah, these guys are not popular. Either way, the tier list between these guys generally goes: Heavy D is the only character that's actually good. Like, he's actually pretty strong. He's a character you can pick for tournaments, and he will actually do well because he's actually a good character. Then you have Brian, who is pretty useful. Like, he has a couple of things going for him, but they are also quite gimmicky. The guy can lay on the hurt badly and be a character that can he can be a bruiser character, you know, and like play and just be annoying. And then you have Lucky Globber, who nobody picks ever because he's trash. So let's look at we go from best to worst, and the worst character, he has some crazy stuff going on, let me tell you, so stay tuned for that. So we're gonna start with Heavy D, who also has a very interesting gimmick. We're also gonna change the stage to something a little less distracting. Let's do, yeah, let's do this stage. That works. Okay, so Heavy D is a boxer. He only has punches. Everything he does is a punch. Like, this is like his jab, heavy punch, light kick, heavy kick, light punch, heavy punch, light kick, heavy kick. Like, light punch, heavy punch, light kick, heavy kick. Like you see, he only ever does punches. Now, he has, like, let's see, he has this thing that's like a dashing punch. He has this thing, I'm not sure what this is, except maybe like an anti-air. It definitely stops people from like gunning for you, like, you know, straight up running in. Like, it's really good to stop but people poking at you potentially, or hyper hopping at you. If you do this preemptively, you can knock them out. It's not his DP though. He also has this thing. It's a slip punch, and he has follow-ups. That's an overhead, and that's a low. So he has the thing that Mai had going on, where he will, you know, you can always you can do this move to like mix people up, where you can go low or you can go overhead like that. So whenever he does this, it's like it's sort of a guessing game. You can progressive block it by like always ducking and then standing up, because the low is so fast. Like you see the overhead, it's like the overhead isn't slow at all, but the sweep is like almost instant. So if you crouch first and then stand up, you should be able to block both of them. Either way, he has this thing is like one of the reasons he's so good. If he can get behind his opponent with a cross up or whatever, he can really mess you up with this thing. Either way, he has a couple of lines that sounds like he speaks Swedish, which I find hilarious. So when you get to his like his gimmick is that he does this thing. To me, that sounds like "sitter som det ska," or "sitter som den ska," like that fits like it should in Swedish. Fits like it should, or sits like it should. When he does this move, he powers up one of his special moves. So this thing becomes a double attack. If he does the shadow, the slip jab, he will do a follow up. So that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, even his throws is just him beating the opponent. Both his throws is just he picks them up and he starts punching them. Yeah, if you do the slip, the low one, he does this attack. If you do shadow upper, this thing, he does two of them in a row. Oh yeah, he also has this. This kind of sounds like HIV, which is like HIV, but yeah, I'm not sure that's Swedish, but yeah. He also has his supers, also sounds like Swedish. Let's see if I can remember how to do them. Oh, it's a double quarter circle, okay. When he does that, it sounds like "Vill ni hänga med?" Like, "Are you coming?" And then it sounds kind of like he's saying "Ack på knä," which means like, "Oh, that's a shame, you're on your knees." It's like, this guy sounds like he's talking Swedish all the time. "Vill ni hänga med?" Like, what the hell? He also has the other zipper, D Crazy. And that sounds like, "Oh, watch out," in Swedish. Like, if somebody speaks Swedish in the chat, let me know. This sounds like "Oh, akta dig." Please tell me that sounds like I'm not making things up. Oh, you better watch out. Yeah, the shadow effects are really nice. The way they did these shadow effects is actually quite different from how Capcom did it in Street Fighter. These shadow effects, as you can see, they are actually like the closest thing to a real shadow that you can do in 2D. It's actually literally the character sprite at an angle. So you see, if you look at the shadow, you can actually see that the shadow, when I throw a jab, so does the shadow. If I do an uppercut, so does the shadow. If I do a sweep, so does the shadow. If you look at Street Fighter games, they all have just a round circle. Third Strike had round circles. And if you're an SNK fangirl like me, you will know that the Neo Geo Neo Geo on paper is weaker than a CPS 1. This system has less capacity than the machine that ran the original Street Fighter 2. It's actually weaker than that. On paper. On paper. And so when you play Garou, the Garou Mark of the Wolves, it's like this thing is less powerful than Capcom's basic arcade machine that they used for Street Fighter Alpha. Street Fighter Alpha had more processing power than the Neo Geo, and they were able to make Mark of the Wolves that is easily on par with Third Strike, which was on one of the most expensive, most advanced arcade machines at the time. SNK were freaking geniuses. The only thing that the AES carts had over the CPS anything was that they had way more space, like for data total, like just for like graphics, audio, whatever. Like it was just sheer volume of data. That was the only thing it had, but it had a slower processor, it had fewer colors, lower resolution, worse samples, all of it. It was way behind. They just had more space. That was the only difference. Yeah, they did some magic with, for sure. So yeah, this guy, the last thing we're gonna show off is that he has a D-Shadow. And D-Shadow does this. He does the shadow boxing, and now he has access to his special moves, several in a row. It eventually runs out though. So now it ran out. But he has a new thing in this game that they gave him, which is if he does the max version, the effect is permanent. This lasts for the rest of the round. He can just do as many of these additional special moves that he wants. And they also added some other stuff, like if he does the shadow version of this, it's much faster than the regular version, so he can actually do it off of a jab. He couldn't do that before, but now he can, so he has these terrifying combos. Let's see if I can get this. Like, he can actually threaten you with his super fast low. Ah. Like, that combo? Let's try this again with the max mode turned on. Ah, it's so difficult. Ah. Push him into the corner a bit. Ah. Kind of want his health back. Try it one more time. Push him into the corner. Yeah, if you can do it like that damage. He does 25% for free. That was no bar. He can just do combos like this. If he hits you like 4 times, you just die. And of course you can just do how do you do this move again? Oh yeah. I love the supers in this game because they just go on forever. They do so much damage. Every single super has an upgraded version. So that was Heavy D, top guy of this top guy in this team. People often pick him by himself, and then they pick like other good characters. They never seem to pick these guys. They just pick him and other good characters like Orochi Chris or you know, Geese or Mary perhaps. Either way, so we're gonna move on to Brian, aka Brain Battler was a nickname that he got. They called him Brain Battler because he's pretty dumb. You know, like he has to battle with his brain to be efficient. Oh yeah, you also have a playable version of Rugel in this, and this version of Rugel, in the original King of Fighters 98, Rugel was actually pretty trash. But in this one, he's actually, they made him like a pretty good character. Oh heck yeah, King of Fighters 98 welcome to the stream, Defying Zero. Let's go. Yeah, we are showing off the American sports team. So this guy has a very interesting gimmick that almost by itself make him worth picking. If you pick this guy, it's probably for one of two things. This move being one of them. You see this thing? He can do it from any jump. I think you can even do it off of a backdash if you're fast enough. Yeah, you can even do it off of a backdash. The Ufo Move. Yeah, so one thing that he can do is this. Oh, come on. This. You see the fucking range on that thing? He just goes off screen into space. He just goes into space. It's a bit finicky to do, especially in this version, because the timing is a lot tighter. You often end up doing that if you mess up like I am right now. Because his jump is kind of sluggish. Yeah, like that. He can cover easily half the stage with this. He can use it to... you can also do it backwards. Like that to run away. This guy has terrible walk speed and terrible running speed, but it doesn't matter because he can just do this and come down with an attack that hits everywhere. But yeah, so Brian is fun to play with. He definitely is. He has some heavy hitting combos. Like this thing. That's a command throw, or a command, well, it's a hit throw. You see that damage? He got that for doing a special move. Just look at this. You see the damage? That's like a quarter, like almost a third of your health. Because he landed a normal attack into a special move. Like this guy is just, he does so much damage. I don't get what the UFO DP uses for. You can use it to just be annoying. You can use it to be, like just troll the opponent like this, jumping back and forth. And because the hitbox is just everywhere, it has multiple hits. It hits on both sides. It hits above him, below him, behind him. It's just a giant hitbox that just flies at you. So yeah. He also has, of course, the command Rekka thing. Let's see here, the inputs. He has other moves too. Brian Tornado, Hyper Tackle, and Rocket Tackle. Brian Tornado is the thing that you get when you mess up the UFO. He also has this tackle thing that you can juggle off of, because of course. So outside of that, he's just a basic, like, sort of hard hitter. He doesn't have fireballs, but he hits super hard. He has some weird hitboxes, but mostly like this thing, like poking at people from like surprisingly far. Yeah, he got Gamma Charge. He also has, yeah, this is the Brian Hammer. He had Brian Hammer into Double Hammer, into DDT, into Tiger Driver, into Samurai Bomb, into Backbreaker, and oh wow, that's a typo, Buster and Amp Bomb. He also has a couple of supers, a Big Bang Tackle, American Supernova, and Galaxy Cyclone. So he has the classic. This super is actually pretty terrible. As you saw, Rugel actually got out of it. So if you do this, you need to be positioned properly. I missed again. So he could have hit me on the way there, like no problem. He could just super me back. He also has American Supernova, which is a command throw. That is actually very good for catching people in the air. Actually surprisingly solid. So if they jump, you can do this, and he just grabs them out of the air and he starts doing this bullshit. And if you have the max version, he does it even further. Like bam, 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 power bomb, power bomb, power bomb, power bomb. Does a lot of damage. I wonder if you can do it off of the... let's try that. If you hit them so that it launches. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, that is a brain battler in a nutshell. He has stupid gimmicks and hits extremely hard, but he's not fast. He just has this to move around. Either way, so let's get to the star of the show. The guy with the plan. This man is so special. He started out as being basically bottom tier. It wasn't so much that he was like super terrible as it was that he got absolutely annihilated by the top tiers like Yori Yagami, who just destroys his whole game plan. So this character has one of the most unique gimmicks that I've ever seen. But let's go over the basics first. He has fireballs that come out at like various angles, which makes him a surprisingly effective zoner. So this one is just, you know, far range fireball, but if you try to jump, it goes like way up there, so you can actually hit people trying to jump the fireball, which can be like pretty disruptive on its own if you just do this, because you can do them really fast back to back. You can even do the A version while the B version is still on the screen. Like that, you don't even have to wait for the fireball to go away before you can do another one. So you can just spam fireballs like that. He also has this thing that makes fireballs come down from the sky. And he also has this thing that gives him additional angles. Like he can go for like this that's almost vertical. Or this one that goes pretty far forward but it hits in a V shape. And he also has this thing. This thing got super good buffs. It's much faster than it used to be. And I think it also goes through fireballs. His basic throw is just he knees you a lot. Or he does this jumping power bomb thing. He has some supers. This one, really fast, good anti-air, good combo ender. I think he can... Oh yeah, and he also has the teleport. Sort of a teleport. Like he slips, he can go through the opponent like this. He can use this to run away if they're cornered, or if he's cornered and he's just bullying them with fireballs. Like this, and just constantly throwing fireballs, keeping you out. And if you try to get in, he can just use this to run away, and maybe hit you in the back. Now, they did another buff, that they made this thing. This thing is a command throw now. I mean, it was always like sort of unblockable, but now it's straight up. Look at Yori when I do this move. Like, he's in hit stun by the time the super flash happens. So if he does this super flash, you actually can't jump out on reaction. It either already hit you or it already whiffed. You can try pressing up, but if you weren't jumping when he did it, you're getting hit. That's a huge buff for this character. It also has like some range, but it makes him like actually viable, because that means if he has bar and you get in, he can throw you. He can actually throw you, like with this thing. It's basically instant startup. And he also has this thing to help him get in. And of course he has a regular DP. You see the range on this DP? See the range on that thing? That's a DP. Like it reaches like half screen. I also made that one super fast. That was off of a jab. A jab. Like this is a huge buff. Huge buff. But we're here to talk about his gimmick that I haven't seen in other fighting games. So let's get Iori out of the corner here. So he can cancel into these special moves. This is like nothing too fancy. Generally you're gonna do some variation of like either this, or you're gonna do a quick version like this. You do the heavy version. But now this is where it gets really interesting. This is where it gets really interesting. So you remember how you have these moves? And if you do it like out here, you whiff because the opponent is too close, and this screen ends here. Now, if you cancel into this move in the corner, when when this thing would definitely whiff. Like if you're over here, it's fine. If you're over here, rather, like that works. But if you do it here, you're just jumping in front of the opponent, and they can hit you. But check this out. You see that? You see that? That's the same move. Because if you cancel into this move in the corner where the ball can't hit you, you see what he does? He gets up there to grab the ball, but he doesn't actually get the ball. He just kicks you in the face. Like, that is pretty interesting. Like, he only does this if the corner is so close that the fireball actually can't hit them. If you're out here, he does the ball instead. You do the same move here, and he does this instead. How many characters in fighting games do you know that actually change their special moves based on their proximity to the corner? Can you think of a character that actually does this in any other fighting game? Any other fighting game that actually changed their special moves based on their position in relation to the corner? That's some Guilty Gear level shit. He does have a different... he does have one more. I think it's... let's see here. Yeah, this one. This one. This is just the regular fireball. And this would have actually been... if you do it like here, at least in the older games, it would do so little hit stun that they could actually hit him back. Even if you hit him with a fireball, like he ends up with a frame disadvantage. They seem to have fixed this in this version. Like if you look at the Iori's hit stun, it's actually extended, like it seems to double up. But yeah, if you cancel into this move in the corner, let me show you that it doesn't work out here. You see, he does the fireball, he gets the fireball, he still hits them. But if you were to be in a position where you would be punishable on hit, he does this instead. He just, instead of grabbing the ball, he just punches you in the face. I love this. Like, you see that? He summons the basketball, but then he realizes this is actually a really bad spot to do this move, so instead of throwing the basketball at my opponent, I'm gonna sock them in the face with my fist. This only happens in the corner. Just punches them in the face. Such an interesting mechanic. So yeah, if you know of any other character that actually does this, let me know. Let me know. I would love to explore that character. But yeah. I did promise you I was gonna show off something cool, and this character has this crazy stuff where he can, instead of using his fireball, he just kicks you or punches you in the face instead. This move still does the regular thing where you just whiff, unfortunately, so that's a problem. But yeah, Lucky is the character that got the most buffs out of everyone in King of Fighters 98. Throughout 98. He got mad buffs in UM2, and in Final Edition they decided like this character cannot stay as the useless character that nobody ever picks. We have to make him sorta good. And we also have to fix this matchup because the matchup was like the matchup with Lucky Globber versus Iori was basically a 9-1 because zoning like this does not work on fucking Iori. He does not stop going in. He can get in so easily, even if you try to do all of this, it doesn't work. So they had to give him like some tools to deal with Iori specifically. So they gave him like the super fast version of this, which can go over fireballs. He got this one that actually gives him something to challenge the Rekkas with because he can cancel into it from his jab. So that makes him much better. Now, we were also looking into Kasumi yesterday. So Kasumi was... I talked about Kasumi before. King of Fighters 2002. Kasumi is not just a top tier character. She is the top tier character in King of Fighters 2002. There is no contest. She's the best character in the game, bar none. Everybody else is in a tier that's below her. Even really strong characters like K-Dash or Orochi Chris, they are an entire tier below her, and those are the tournament characters. She's up there by herself. Now, Kasumi has a lot of her usual stuff, like Ecstasy Crunch. You see how fucking fast that thing is? See how much range that thing has? I have to almost try to like... Let's see here, it has more than half screen range. You can stand like over here and still hit people. She also has the slower version, which is yeah. And she has a Rekka, of course, where she does follow-ups. So she can get some solid damage off of that. Let's see. She has the counter punch thing. This thing is still not fast enough. Super Ecstasy Crunch. Bigger version of the Super Ecstasy Crunch. I don't remember how it works in this one. Let's see here. Yeah, I think this is the fast one, but it has worse range or something. Ah, they seem about the same. Anyway, let's see her, she has Lightning Crack. Oh yeah, it's a special move that gives you so much hit stun that you can combo off of it very easily. Like, no problem whatsoever. She has a command throw, I believe. Yeah, this thing. It's just a unblockable hit that starts a launch. Like, it just launches the opponent. I wonder if you can do super after. Maybe not in the corner. Either way, it's an unblockable hit that launches the opponent. I don't play this character, so anyway, she also has ultimate Ecstasy Crunch. She can do it in the air now. This thing, which is pretty interesting. You see the different shape of the wave. And let's see here, that's the Rekka. She has, oh yeah, she of course has the counters as well. And she does not have the low one. But let's see here. DN. Click on her. Looking crack and then ah, yes, she does not have the ultimate counter in this. Let's see here. Yeah, this is the one missing. That doesn't work. Super awkward to do the motion. Pretty sure that works, but so hard to get the jump and still get the super. Either way, Kasumi. She's pretty different from how she was, but she does have this thing. This thing. You see the hit stall on that? Oh, okay. Ah, never mind. Let's see, what else do we have in this game? Other characters we have that are new are the boss team, of course. You have regular Rugel. Regular Rugel has some stuff going on, but he's not this is the only version of him. The only version of Rugel that actually has, he's a normal character. So, if we put him against, obviously, Kyo, oh no, wait, Saishu Kusanagi. Kyo Kusanagi's dad. Let's do this again, pick a different stage. So many characters have special intros in this. But yeah, this is the playable version of Rugel, who's actually made to be a regular character. He's not supposed to be a boss. He has amazing range. He has the Genocide Cutter, of course, but it only does 2 hits. He has a Fireball. He has the Kaiser Wave, but as you can see, it's like the light version is kind of slow. The heavy version is pretty fast, but not like the boss version. This one actually takes a while to get going, but once it does, it's super fast. He also has the Gigantic Press. He has a super version of the Gigantic Press, and he also has a thing that is pretty rare for fighting game characters to be allowed. When he does the Gigantic Press, he always puts them in the corner. Always. So if you do the EX version of this, you'll see how far he actually goes to put them in the corner. Like, he can go from corner to corner, and now you're in the corner. It's enough that he just hits you with his move. You can also try this. You see even the special version. Let's put him way over here. Way over here. Oh, damn it. Damn it. Put him way over here. Like, now I'm in the corner. And I'm doing the light version of the Gigantic Pressure. He goes all the way to the other corner, now he's cornered. So that's pretty cool. And you're also at a really good range, because you can start bullying him. Rugel is actually like the first character that let me know what footsies are like, because this move is a move that you wanna... It's really good if you hit people with it, but if you whiff, you see he has a lot of end lag to it. But it's really good if he just gets the hit. Especially because you can cancel out of it. So, you know, it's a really nice thing to have. Especially at this range. So, Rugel was, he was one of the characters that I actually used I'm a bit sad he is not. He never came back to being this guy. Never the playable version of him. I had lots of like little tricks that I like to do. Let's see if I can. I think. Yeah, hit confirms. You can also, let's see here. I think you can juggle off of this. Is it only on counter hit? Either way, he can make you, he can reflect fireballs back with this thing. And he also has an interesting super that he never got again. He only has it in this version of the game. This thing. I'm not sure what the hell that's supposed to be. He just dances on you. You can also do the heavy version. It just makes him spin for longer. So, yeah. This move is actually surprisingly good now because they made it much faster and it also has much more range and a more reliable hitbox. So if you're playing Fireball Wars, you can forego the Dark Shield and just go for this instead. And just bully people like that. So this version of Rugel is very interesting. Like that, yeah. This guy's very cool. Let's see. We also have Chitsuru, who is a character that got pretty buffed in this version of the game as well. And she was a character who was very top tier in the original game, apparently. But she was strong because she had a move that was just way too good, and the rest of her toolkit was a bit limited. So she had this thing. This thing was just horrendous. It was in the original, she would just hit you and hit you and hit you and hit you. You could do like multiple follow-ups, like go for like this move or just walk after your shadow and just keep punching them. But now it's much more limited in what it actually does. You see, it like kinda works from a distance, but it's mostly that she recovers super fast. You can use it to essentially extend combos. Let's see if I can get anything decent going. Okay. So one of the things that they did was they gave her, they made this move much better. This move actually knocks down now. So you have a full screen fireball that can be, when you do the punch version, she sends out a clone. And this is still an overhead. So it's a full screen overhead where she doesn't actually have to commit to a jump. She can just stay over here and send out her copy to do it. But if you want to get in, like actually want to get over there, you can use the kick version instead. And now it's the real Chitsuru. That's actually pretty crazy. So that's one of the things they gave her. She has her DP, of course. She can fake her DP as well. So she can... it's kind of awkward to punish. Like when she does a DP, it's like, yeah, she goes up in the air, but it might not be her. She might still be on the ground. Or it's totally a DP. Where she actually commits and does the DP. So, a very interesting character. I'm sad she's not. She's very rarely in King of Fighters games. She still has some weird issues, like this thing not hitting properly. You have to like actually be at the proper distance. But this one works the same way. You can do the fake version, not actually commit, or you can actually be the one that does the attack. Let's see. She also has this thing that's pretty interesting. That actually takes away your ability to use special moves. So now you have to fight with basic shit like normals. And it lasts longer if you do the SDM version. Now he's in the blue for a really long time. This thing also became crazy fast. You see the speed on this thing? Like, it's instant. And they also added invul frames to the heavy version. Like when she spins like this, Like, she's just straight up invincible. Yeah. Who else do we have in this game? I'm just going through the characters pretty fast. I'm sorry. Let me know if you have any requests, like if there's a character you want to see, or if you want me to try something out, or do something specifically. We have these, of course. Yeah, I hope she's like that. This is actually like one of my probably my favorite version of Chitsuru, because she actually feels good in this. Like, she has some legit tools that make her a more fleshed out character. She doesn't have to rely on her Mirage all the time because they nerfed that one, but they made her a much better character. Speaking of which, there is one example of another character I really like that I'm actually surprised they didn't give the changes to in King of Hearts 2002 UM, considering that came out after. So Vice is a character who is sort of deceptive in that she seems to be like a sort of striking character with Rekkas. Let's see if I can remember how to actually do this. Yeah, this thing. Seems like a Rekka. It's like she does a tackle and then she does an air throw. That like an additional follow-up. It's the one called Mayhem down there. Quarter circle back punch, quarter circle forward punch. She does this. And she also has like these kicks. But one interesting thing is that one of the changes they gave was that this move used to push you back really far. It used to push, it had like the standard pushback where if you hit them repeatedly you will go back like this. But in this version they made it so this has no pushback except on the last kick. Which means you don't get punished for hitting people with this move. If you do the heavy version, you see they stay in place until the very last kick. Everything else before that has no pushback whatsoever. So they don't get pushed out while you're still doing the move. Because that was an issue she had where like this move wasn't very good, because even if you hit people with it, you would just get pushed back and then they could like super you for free because you hit them. I hate stuff like that. When you get punished on hits, that's the worst thing ever. So that's one of the things they changed. Push forward buttons. Oh yeah, she has this. You can also stop the move now, like that. Not sure if you can actually combo off of it because it has more recovery. They also have this interesting translation where she has a move called Daside, which is what it actually says in Japanese is deicide, as in killing a god. And they messed that up when they translated it to the point where they butchered it all the way down to becoming Daside. Like if somebody's misspelling the word decide. But it's supposed to be deicide. Or Dayside. She also got grabs because she is a grappler. She has the classic this thing. Every Vice player worth their salt knows how to combo into that thing. It's a key thing that she has. She also has other command throws as well. Half circle back and punch. Let's see here. This one. And also this one. Yeah, that's the D side. That's a crazy amount of travel. Like, very fast move. So yeah, the thing that one of the reasons that I prefer this game over 2002 UM is because they put more thought into what they actually gave the characters. In 2002 UM, it seemed like they added moves for like the real bout cast, like Terry got the quick burn double punch, and it seems like they only gave him that because he had it in real bout, not because he actually needed a move like that at all. They just gave it to him because it was a move that he had once that he didn't in that game, so they gave it to him so he could play more like his real bout counterpart. And they also gave Andy his Shadow Slicer, which is like he throws a fireball that hits OTG, so he can hit people on the floor, because that's a thing that Andy needs. He needs more Oki. That fucking guy? Come on, like you only gave him this because he didn't have the move and it was in real bout that one time. Which game does Vice work better in? I definitely think this version, if only because of this. Only because of this. King of Fighters 2002 UM, she still gets pushed back like this by these kicks, so you can still do this move and get punished because you're still doing the move, but you're not hitting them because you get pushed out. Otherwise, she's very similar, so that's a key thing. You can also do it in the air, of course. So I actually like this version much more, even though she doesn't have the max mode combos, but she still has the crazy fast snake arm. So I just felt like I needed to point that out. I want to say King of Fighters 13 Vice, but I think she was more basic Vice than that. Well, King of Fighters 13 Vice is good, but she's good because she's basic. Like, she has fewer tools, but her tools are just so good. The side or D side, that move, like, it combos into itself and shit. Like, she can do super extended combos by just using the snake arm multiple times. And she has combo paths that are just absolutely nuts. But so does everybody in King of Fighters 13. Like, if you can't kill your opponent in a single combo if you have full meter, that's an execution problem. You can always kill your opponent if you have all of your resources ready to go. It's just a matter of, can you actually do the combo though, because it's gonna be really hard to do. Let's see here. We can do some Leona because all of the Super Sentai references. I can't believe people actually seem to miss out on this, like, a lot. Yeah, how are you not able to see that? It surprises me. Like, Leona just straight up has the Rider kick. Or the Rider kick. No, the Rider kick. Do you know Kamen Rider? He has a thing that he likes to do. I don't know much about Kamen Rider, but even I can see this. The Rider kick looks like this. I would almost have to pause, but you see how her foot just glows for no reason? It's her foot glows because that's how you do the Rider kick. If you do the Rider kick, your foot glows with evil destroying energy, and they just gave her that for some reason. She also has this move, which is classic Super Sentai. She poses, the opponent explodes in the background, classic stuff. So this character is just Kamen Rider reference, even though she looks nothing like him. We also get to see like some cool animations, like this is her backwards walk, this is her forward walk. You see how elaborate her forward walk is? How many animation frames is that? Because she does like this little dance, and when she walks back she just sort of like backs away in a quick pace. I got back from my meeting. Did you know in Extra some characters like Kasumi can special their evade attack? Yes, I actually did. I believe that was a new feature in King of Fighters 98 UM that allows you to do some combos that were impossible before, where you essentially do yeah, something like this, but with extra. So you do the evade and then you do the attack out of the evade, and it's actually fast enough that you can hit the opponent, and the evade attack is cancelable. So that allows for combos that you normally couldn't do. So yeah, I did know that. Also, you missed the Lucky Globber thing. You might be able to catch it in the VOD later. But yeah, Lucky Globber, do you know about his gimmick? His unique gimmick. Where he changes his special moves based on how far away from his from the corner he is. I've never seen a character do that. He actually changes his fireball based on his if he's close in the corner. If he's close in the corner, like if you do the death ball, he won't be able to hit them with the death ball in the corner because it hits behind them. So instead, he just kicks them in the face. He doesn't grab the basketball, he just socks them right in the nose with his foot. And if you try to do the regular fireball, the quarter circle forward punch one, instead of grabbing the basketball, he just lets it fall and socks you right in the mouth with his fist. And it becomes a completely different attack. But only if you're in the corner, only if he is pushing the opponent to the corner. Otherwise, he just does the special move normally. Yeah, sprite animation. People believe it was a balance thing. I label it as another SNK silly thing. I mean, we can talk about glitches. Let's check out Leona first though, because she has she was the first character that I learned how to do like hide your button inputs, because King of Fighters, especially this game, is so good with that. Like if you look at let's see here, we have the V slasher. You check that out. It's quarter circle forward, half circle back. It's only done in the air. It looks like let's see if I can do it properly. I'm so used to like cheating on this. Yeah, there we go. V slasher. Crazy fast move. Also has invul. If you jump in and they try something and you do the V slasher, you're almost definitely gonna win. It's one of those moves where if the first hit connects, the rest of the hit connects, because they get frozen in place until she's done. So one of the things that I learned playing this game is that she does not actually have a quarter circle forward kick move. If you do quarter circle forward kick, she always does this, because it's not tied to a move. And you can use a cancel to do this, which makes the hammer arc. You see, it knocks down normally. It normally knocks them down into like a hard knockdown, but if you cancel into it, it becomes this. And you can cancel out of that, so you can do what does she actually have in this version of the game? Let's see here. Ice Slasher, Over Ground Saver. She doesn't actually have any special moves? Okay. So yeah, you can do the button input that you're gonna do is you're gonna do the double knee, you're gonna do the hammer arc, and then you're gonna do the V slasher. But doing that is actually very difficult because you have to be super fast. Oh, I just got it, but I still missed. So what you can do is you do close D, let both knees hit, and then you input quarter circle forward light kick, which gives you this. And then you do half circle back punch, which should give you... Let's see if I can get it. This game is a bit faster than the original, so I apologize for missed inputs. This game is super fluid, like constant 60 FPS, but it's actually throwing me off a bit. There we go. Oh wow, it didn't connect. Let's try that again. There we go. Classic Leona combo. First, hide the buffer that I knew. So even though the V slasher is quarter circle forward, half circle back punch, because you do quarter circle forward B to get the hammer arc, and then half circle back, the game still thinks that you did the whole super input, even though the quarter circle forward was this move. I love stuff like that. There's so much stuff like that in this. Let's see here, we're gonna go to Kim. Kim is the master of bullshit like this. Let's do Terry, I guess. Yeah, the short hops are hard to do. Yeah, there we go. So Kim Kaplan has, he has glitches. And as SNK games go, glitches turn into features. Kim Kaplan almost always has a glitch that makes him super good. It's always something that only benefits him, and in a way that could be amounted to cheating. So one of the things that he has is that this move, the Alexa Conquest, is super cancelable. Like that. Now that doesn't seem like it's a big deal because super cancels are a thing in King of Fighters, you know. It has been a thing in King of Fighters for years and years and years. But let me remind you, King of Fighters 98 does not actually have super cancels. But this guy does. This guy has a super cancel, even though super cancels are not a thing. You see, like that, it doesn't say super cancel or anything because that's not a thing yet. But this guy has a glitch that allows him to cancel his Legs of Conquest into a fucking super. Nobody else gets to do that. Only him. Because it's Kim Kaplan, and Kim Kaplan always has bullshit that nobody else gets. It's different in every game. But it's always something that greatly benefits him and nobody else. The Salute intro glitch. Yeah. It's not a glitch, it's justice. Yeah, exactly. He also has in King of Fighters 2002, it's tied to this as well, where he's able to max cancel this move, even when he's not in max mode. He's able to do max cancels off of this. It's really dumb. He also has a glitch in King of Fighters 97, where if you toss Choi, if you play against Choi and you just throw him, you do double damage. For no reason. You just do double damage on every throw against Choi. I'm not sure why that is, but like maybe it's because he's punishing his student, but he just does double damage to Choi, and there's no reason for why he only does it to him. Kim was able to make his super into an unblockable in King of Fighters 99. I do believe he actually has this stupid thing he does here too. Let me see if I can get it. Let's see here. No, that's not how you do it. That thing. You can sort of make that unblockable, but I think they probably fixed it in this version. But it's like, you do the Phoenix Flattener into the corner so that it hits above the opponent. You need to like make him fly for a bit. It's really awkward because you're also like kind of jumping the opponent. On big people you can make it like a cross up. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If you do it like straight into the wall, you can make it so that it becomes like sort of an unblockable because it's gonna hit differently, like it might be a cross up. So it's gonna be really hard to block. But either way, he has also has a very interesting buffer trick. You see the Phoenix Flattener here, the super? You see how that's kinda like a Rambu, but not really a Rambu? You know, it's not actually quarter circle back, half circle forward. It's quarter circle back, down, back, forward. That allows him to do this bullshit where you press down, back, forward. Just down, back, forward, and he does the super. Because it's a shortcut. So what can you use that for? You remember the likes of Conquest, which is a down-down motion. So you can do, you know, like a crouching normal into this. So the input here is down C, down B. Super easy. And then you press back forward kick. So, oops. Like that. The input for that's like a close normal or crouching normal into a special move into a super. The input is down B, or down C, down B, back forward kick. And you get this. You get this. Like, this buffer system is so amazing. I like it so much that you can just do stupid shit like this. And in King of Fighters 2002, you can elaborate on it even further. You can add a flash kick in there and like max cancels, and you just basically do like a third of the inputs that you actually need to do, and you get like these crazy combos. Let's see, the amount of life you lose if he was in max mode was GG. Oh, for this? Oh, I'm messing up. I forget this move, this game does not have... Good. Ah, damn it. Ugh. Yeah. So, Kim Cop 1, cheating bastard. Cheating bastard, like he always is. He gets super cancels in a game that does not have super cancels. He gets to cancel his special moves into supers. Nobody else gets to do that but him. It later became a standard feature, obviously, but it was because Kim Cop 1 was a thing. So we also have a Takuma as usual. I can just do that one real quick. We saw that one yesterday. But yeah, this one, you do the, oh wait. Wrong version of the character. This version. Now I'm messing up so bad. There we go. He has a Tatsu that launches, and it's all started because one of the SNK developers messed up the X and Y. The X and Y values. It was supposed to send them slightly up into the air and then fling them across the screen. But because they got the numbers reversed, what ends up happening is that they go slightly back and way up instead. Like super high up in the air. And you were able to juggle off of that because this thing... The first hit is supposed... well, at least it used to be that the first hit knocks them down, and the second hit juggles off of that, so you were able to follow up on it. But because of the glitch, he got crazy amounts of combos, being able to like launch the opponent in the air and juggle them with his big ass fireball. This one. You can also do the forward back forward after charge kick. That's my favorite combo. Ah, oh yeah. I guess you mean this thing? That didn't connect properly, but then... You can also do the super, of course. yeah, there's a Zanretsuken. Still love this. Still love how you only need to get the one hit. He does 13 punches. If the 13th punch hits, he starts over and he lands 13 punches anyway. Speaking of glitches, we have Hydern once again. I'm not sure I would even call this a glitch because he's had it in every single game he's ever been in. Every single game, I actually went back and checked. Every single instance of Hydern has the same glitch. So this has never been fixed. It has never been fixed. It was a day one thing. So, yeah, command throw. See the damage. Does quite a lot. But if you whiff a Moon Slasher and then you hit them with this, you see that damage? You see that damage? That's a quarter of your health for a command throw. It is just busted. I think it also works with this move in this version of the game. Let's see, that's like a quarter as well. Let's try that with this thing activated. Yeah, that's a third of your health. So let's crank this up a little. We're gonna do the super version. How much damage is this gonna do? This is the SDM version. You see how much health that does? That was one move! One move! That's almost 2/3 of your health. Yeah, it's not a glitch, it's a mechanic. Yeah, at this point, because they never bothered to fix it, it's even in King of Fighters 14, the game where they had to make this character literally from scratch. They gave him this fucking glitch again. All they did was that instead of doing double damage, it adds like, I think it's like 25% damage-ish. And they also made this thing super punishable on whiff. So you have to like be safe to actually do it, like knock the opponent down, like, I don't know, something like that, or maybe if you do it off of CD, perhaps. Nah, still very slow. Imagine if you did the tick throw setup. Yeah, exactly. This character is nuts. Nuts. He's already pretty dumb because he has this thing. Do fireball, and then you can like combo off of that, full screen, get a free super if it hits. You know, that's like half-life. Because the fireball doesn't knock down. And he also has this weird-ass move. Like, what the hell is that? What even is that? Like, he just spins around. Apparently, SNK said that the guy is like a wizard. That's what the explanation was. Like, Hydern is a wizard. That's how he has this move, where he's able to do this thing. He's a wizard. And that was the explanation, because even they felt his... because King of Fighters is supposed to be a more realistic version of like Street Fighter. So when the other people saw his design and they were like, what is this crazy dude? Like, what the hell is that attack? They were like, he's a wizard. A military guy who does magic. Yeah! Let's see. And speaking of, there is a story about this character, actually. There is a pretty funny story about this character. So Mai is a character that's well known for what she's doing precisely right now. You know, this thing she does, like just standing there. You know how this got censored in some versions, where her booba wouldn't move like that. It's just more fit in place. She still moves, of course, but it's less bouncy. So there's a story from King of Fighters 94, where it was King of Fighters 96, when they gave her this sprite, this new sprite. King of Fighters 96. So King of Fighters 96 was pretty much a rush job. They had to do all of the graphics again from scratch. You know, so they had to be quick about it. They had a new engine. The engine wasn't very stable, but they hoped that they could make up for it with all of this graphical fidelity, because it's the style that we all know. This is where this My sprite is from. King of Fighters 96. Worst game in the series, in my humble opinion. King of Fighters 96, there's no reason to play King of Fighters 96 at all. Like, at all. If you're gonna play a King of Fighters game, play literally any other game. I would even recommend Neowave over it. But King of Fighters 96 introduced like some really cool stuff that is like key. These sprites are from that game, Gainitz is from that game, Chitsuru was introduced in that game. It was the first game that had Geese Howard be playable. It's the one where they changed up the fireball system. But the game still sucks. It's actually bad. Yeah, 96 was rough. The best things about 96 is that it is a visual treat to look at, and the music is actually awesome. But the gameplay is horribly laggy. And they took away... Every character lost their command attacks. All command normals, they're not in the game anymore. But either way, so they were making the game. and they were putting like they pour their hearts into it and try to get it done on time. But they also had like restrictions, like like you would normally have with games, because they hadn't invented the Gigapower cartridge yet that had like a fucking gigabyte of data. This was before that, so they had limited space as well, and they had just poured in all of these new amazing high-res sprites, and they ran out of space. And the culprit was Mai Shiranui, because she had this super elaborate idle stance that used up way more frames than it actually should. So Kishi Kawasaki, the boss, he asked to look at Mai, you know, like, what is this extra stuff that you put in Mai that made her take up so much more space than we said you would be allowed for the characters? Why does she take up, you know, like an additional megabyte over everyone else? And the person that designed Mai Shiranui, he said, well, I wanted to spruce up her neutral animation a bit with, you know, what you see on screen right now. So, but I could reverse that, you know, I could give her her old animation, the idle animation back, you know. He showed off what that looked like, and Kishi Kawasaki looked at it, it's like, okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to find another character and remove something from them so that this animation can stay in the game. And they ended up taking Mr. Big's other super, the one that he only got back in Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, because they had made the sprites and everything. It's the super where he like knocks them into the air and he uses his nightsticks to like pummel them above him. They took that super and removed it from the game so that Mai's Booba could remain in the game untouched. Kishi Kawasaki actually ordered them to, like, yeah, we're not saving space on Mai. I'm going to ask you to find somebody else, take their animation frames, and take them out of the game. Kawasaki's the hero we don't deserve. Yeah, that was my favorite thing, like, just so this could remain in the game. And then they ended up censoring that, so that's why she has a whole animation without the booba bounce ready to go, because that was the one that they started with. It was the one that she was supposed to have before Kishi Kawasaki said, no, we're keeping this and we're removing something else. Mr. Big wasn't a big deal. Yeah. I always like this super, the fire wheel. Because it can go through the opponent like this, it can actually be pretty tricky to block. Sometimes you actually legitimately can't tell which side it's gonna hit on. But yeah, Mai she already got her bullshit in this game. If I can get it. You're supposed to be able to do the swallow swoop off of this, the squirrel sweep, or whatever. What is the name? Flying squirrel dance. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that from the air. Yeah, this one. You're supposed to be able to do it off of this as well. If you cancel into it. Either way, you have a mix-up going there, where you can do the usual stuff where you either go low like this, or you go, if that works in this game. Can you... I guess you can't cancel the first hit or something? Yeah, that's Mai is less interesting in this game than the story behind how that happened. SNK are a bunch of deviants for sure. Air cancels are tight in the game. Oh yeah, that could be it. Because I was able to do it before, but it's yeah. Oh yeah, actually. That's one thing that I wanted to show off, but it's actually in the game itself. Let's see. So this game has some challenges. Let's actually go with arcade single player. There's one thing that I wanted to show off. You have this character, Ralph, who is pretty good. And if you want to beat the game easily, there is a strat where he has a button that you can win entire matches with only one button. You don't even need the command throws. The command throws are only if like the characters actually try to block, because they're gonna try to block. So with this character, you use one move and one button. You do let's see here. You do this. Ah, come on. This. There we go. Just doing crouching C will let you do really well even against this, because King of Fighters 98 has like ridiculous AI, but this move is so good that you can just spam this attack and just win. If you ever played King of Fighters 98 in vanilla, you will know that it's a hard game. But this guy just makes it like kinda easy. You just spam this move and you just win. You don't even have to jump, you can just use this. He has other moves as well, like this, or you can do this. Combo into super, but you can also just keep doing this until you win. Yeah, crouching C. Crouching C over and over. Why would you ever want to do anything else? And if you have bar, you can combo into super as well. And you just do that for like the whole game, and you're gonna be fine. The AI is the arcade port. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The AI is really dumb. Ralph is a defensive character, has a one-hit kill super. Yeah, he does. I don't think they're gonna let us land it though. Oh, the new overhead that she got. That actually makes this matchup a bit trickier. Because if I crouch, I'm just gonna get hit by this. So, Chitsuru actually has the answer. Because she's made of overheads in this game. Let's see if we can maybe switch things up by... what is that move? Let me actually check the skill list. I want to try something. Gatling attack, blitzkrieg punch, super Argentina backbreaker, Ralph kick. There we go. He totally let us do it. Oh no. We're gonna do it again? Oh! Okay, that was funny. But yeah, getting my ass handed to me by Chitsuru like that was actually a bit surprising. But there are multiple challenges where you have to do like survival modes. And using Ralph to do like just that against, I guess, everybody but Chitsuru, you can win pretty handily. If you have any problems with the challenges, just get Ralph. Get Ralph. A Galactica Phantom can save your ass. You can actually go in and see how much damage this actually does. Because they actually buffed the damage on the Galactica Phantom in this. It actually does more damage than it used to. How is Kasumi Toto in the game? We can... She's not as good as she is in 2002 UM, that's for sure. But yeah, let's see. Galactica Phantom, regular version. Bam! That's already half health, well past half health. So we're gonna do the SDM version. This move is one of those that does way more damage if it does a counter hit. So that's not quite a one-hit kill. But if you do this, if you get it as a counter hit, you get a little bit of extra damage, and if you do a counter hit now, that is just death. I believe if you do, let's see here, 0 life. So this should kill. Yep, just KO. He also has this, of course. I like how excessive this is. And Bari Bari, the bareback. The bareback. Yeah, he doesn't have his Ralph tackle in this. He has the Ralph kick. It's a pretty potent tool, but it's not like the Ralph tackle. The Ralph tackle is he just runs at you and he has hyper armor. Like, you can try to hit him, but it's not gonna do fuck all to stop him. So if the opponent is like pressuring you too hard in the later games, when you get the Ralph tackle, you can just use that shit to challenge anything that they try to do. The biggest brain. But yeah, Kasumi is a bit limited in this game because she only has the Ecstasy Crunch as her super, so she doesn't have the super cheap, I'm gonna do a special move, but then when you hit me, it's suddenly a super. She only has the Ecstasy Crunch, but she does have the Ecstasy Crunch in the air, which is interesting because she never has that. Otherwise, I think this is the only version where she has it. Kasumi is solid mid, but she's has interesting special moves. Yeah. Speaking of interesting special moves. Wait. How do I... No, that's not the button. How do you select alternate versions of characters in this game again? Select, maybe? Is that it? Yeah. Speaking of interesting characters and with interesting movesets, this fucking character. Let's see here. So you have, well, actually, let's just go through her regular stuff. So she's essentially Mary. She has the hammer punch. This one actually knocks down. I think it's because it hits as a counter, though. Oh, that's a terrible stage. Let's pick another one. There we go. Oh, it actually always knocks down. Interesting. What if you cancel into it? Ah, okay. So yeah. This is a move she always has. Climbing Arrow. This move is a move that she lost. Oh yeah, we can talk about that as well. This move is the bane of SNK. This move always has some shit that makes her so good. They have to like nerf her. It got so bad after a while that they just removed the move entirely. And in King of Fighters 14, you might remember this move actually came back. This thing. I'm not actually familiar with all of the tricks that made it so busted, but it was a move that was so good that they just gave up. They tried to balance it, and it just became like this mess of a move that allowed her to do like really stupid, crazy shit, and be just a broken character. That they just removed this attack entirely, the climbing arrow, and so she became like the character with the counter moves like this. And in King of Fighters 14, they actually said, okay, so people keep asking to get the fucking climbing arrow back. You can have the climbing arrow back, but we're gonna take away all of her counter moves, except this one. That's the only one she gets to keep. We're gonna have to make this character balanced, and if she's gonna have this bullshit that is this move, we're gonna take away something else. So you can have this move back, but we're gonna take away your favorite counter moves. The one that where she can counter you for free and get a free super. Yeah, that thing is gone now. But you have the climbing arrow kick back. And it's really dumb in King of Fighters 14. I think Arya did a whole video about like how busted this attack actually is in 14. Let's see, she had it in the Fatal Fury games. The hurt box was disjointed, it was an AA, and you can combo off of it. Yeah, exactly. You can in King of Fighters 14, you can combo off of it in big ways, so it's like really dumb. But they took away some of her other tools. I think she also lost this attack. She only does like a single knee now. The knee itself is really good, but it's much harder to hit confirm off of. You can't just, you know, do it and see if it hits and then cancel if it works. So this version is sort of a Fatal Fury-ish. Like this move is not exactly... Oh! Tribulo61 is now following. Where was the sound effect? Hello and welcome to the stream. We are playing King of Fighters 98. This is another test stream. We seem to be doing really well in terms of frame rate. I'm not getting any warnings at all. Actually, how are things on your end? Have you had any of those buffer issues today, or are we finally good? Real Wild Fatal Fury Special is the version of... not really, I would say, actually. This is, she's not really quite like she is in Real Bout Special. Only somewhat. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I think it's because you play with King of Fighters rules. Like, there's a lot of shit she can't do in this game that she has in Real Bout Special. Like all of her target combos are gone. Like, all of them. And she doesn't have the same normals. Like, this thing is not really a thing. Yeah. Let's see here. Straight Slicer. And she does, God damn, you have to press fast. Yeah. Stun gun. While opponent is down. Stomp on people. During vertical arrow hit. She also doesn't have the same throw that she has in Real Bout, where she can do follow-ups on her grabs and change her throw like mid-animation. She just has her King of Fighters throws, the regular ones, like this one. But yeah, the interesting thing is when you use M escalation. Let me see. When you do this, she just turns like that, and then you can do other moves. I need to make Rio stop dying. Life. Yeah, let's go with red. There we go. Now, let's see. It's punch. So you get additional special moves that are much more closely associated with how she plays nowadays. So you can do the Dream Fall. Dream Fall into this. That's classic Mary, but it's not classic Mary because this is the new version of Mary, the one we're used to in the modern games. During a Slurred Slicer hit. Let's see here. No, it's supposed to be kick. Yeah, there. That's like classic 2002 Mary. Escalation state, vertical arrow hit. So she basically just turns into the Mary that she is in like every King of Fighters after this one. You can cancel a stomp after the stun gun. Yeah, escalation is also from real bout games. I love that as a mechanic because she can turn any hit or mix up into a super. Yeah. Real bout 2 specifically is when she does this. Where she just goes into, because you have in M escalation state, during double spider, double crunch, or double snatcher, press down and punch. So if you are just in this state, you just get a super. You can get a super off of a DP, or an overhead, or a low. A special move low. Ah, wait. Wrong game. I think. Oh. Man, this is complicated. Such a complicated move. Let's try this again. Oh, come on. Let me check this again. Let's see here. Straight slicer. Kick. Okay. So we understand what we're doing. There we go. And of course off of wow. It's so hard because you keep switching between like having completely different special moves. Let's try this again. Like that, and then now kick, punch, down punch. There we go. Yeah, she just changes into a different character. That's the thing. It changes her whole move list, but stuff that is B and B's in King of Fighters 2002 suddenly becomes like you get a free super. Because, yeah. So she's a super interesting character in this. Yeah. So speaking of interesting characters. Let's see here. Didn't know Mary have a Shadow DM as well. Yeah, that's the EX version of Mary. Speaking of EX versions of characters, we have the most busted version of them right here. You think Geese is bad? This guy. This guy. So, he comes off as fairly normal first, like you get the traditional changes. His fireballs go full screen now. He gets this back. That's a normal move he usually has. You know, the Raijinken thing. Like that's a normal move that he has. Nothing super special about that. He has his command kick. Nothing too crazy. He has this all the time. He has the grab and throw, which is actually super tight to do. Die forever. That's a Korone quote. Goodbye forever. And he's like, yeah, die forever. Ah, I'm Geese Howard. I fight geese on the beach. So yeah, that's actually not too crazy. Especially the Heavens Peel slam down, like this OTG thing. It's not nearly as good as you would think. I mean, it's a nice tool to have because it's free damage. It's free damage. But he switches sides, which is not always something you want, especially if they're already in the corner, and it does pitiful damage. So, you know, it's free damage, but it's not great. And he also has his command throw. like the vacuum toss, the thing he always has. So this is a surprisingly standard version of Geese. He actually even looks like a regular version of Geese. He even has the, let's see if I can remember, it's a pretzel motion. I was never good at doing the pretzel motion unless I'm playing on the actual arcade, and even then I'm struggling. See, there we go. And of course the Rashomon. The Rashomon, this thing. Command throw. Yeah, so far. Oh, I die. Thank you forever, Corona. Yeah, exactly. So this version of Geese looks like he's fine. He's like basically, I don't know, Fatal Fury 3 Geese or something. He was never like super busted in those games. But then you find out about this thing. Double Fireball. This thing starts becoming a problem. You see how how much space that fucking thing occupies? Especially the double one. He can just keep doing this and there's no real answer for it because you see those giant fireballs. This is basically Shinakuma bullshit. I know he has setups that actually just destroy your guard gauge. They actually have it in Dark Geese, a famous King of Fighters player in the US. He actually has a whole video about like why this version of Geese should be tournament banned. Basically because he has this move. Like that move alone, he shows off like all of the setups that you can do off of it, and basically what ends up happening is he keeps you in block stun until you die. And there's like really no way out because doing the CD attack just makes it so that you get hit instead, so you die faster. So he has a whole video that just runs down like this version of Geese. He seems fine at first, he actually seems surprisingly normal, and then this thing comes into play and it's just some characters just cannot deal with it at all. They have no answer whatsoever. He just has setups into this and they just have to sit there and block and they can't do anything. They can't approach, they can't use CD attacks, they can't even duck, they can't move forward, they just have to sit there and take it until they die. You can pause for a second this game to do the pretzel, the input they added more leniency this time. His air fireball is so insane, it beats so many defensive options, even the roll. Yeah, exactly. Some characters that can't outright like get around it somehow. Like I guess maybe Athena can use her shield perhaps, or the new and improved Lucky Glauber can use his fireball invincibility to get in. But it's like, even if you do, it's like there's nothing stopping him from just starting the whole thing over, and then you have to constantly deal with it. He also had a video about the Gainits, who he also feels should be tournament banned, but it's much less direct. It's because his movement options are so good that if he ever gets the upper hand, he can just bully you to death, and there's no way you can catch up to him because he's gonna move way faster than you are, and you're just not gonna be able to catch him, and he's just gonna win like that. He's gonna play this annoying Rolento game where it's fireballs everywhere and you just can't approach him because as soon as you get in, he just teleports away, and then you have to work your way in again, and that's gonna be the whole match. And Orochi's banned, but that goes without saying. Also, this version of Rugel. Does he have the Beats of Destruction in this? I'm just gonna check that real quick. I don't remember. Let's see. Beats of Destruction should be. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This character is pretty dumb. I'm just gonna show off like the one thing you can do. Let's see here. Recovery. Yeah. So you do Beats of Destruction, which is this move. It has way too many fucking hits. It does way too much fucking damage, and it's a launcher, and it also does crazy block damage. So the way this matchup is gonna work is he's gonna touch you with something. He's gonna do this, and then he's gonna do this, and you're gonna die. And that's the matchup. He's gonna poke at you. He's gonna poke at you, he's gonna get this thing, he's gonna hit you with a super, and look at that fucking damage. That wasn't even the SDM version, that was just 1 bar. 1 bar for a move that does like 20% on block. He's just gonna do this, and then he can also do like, I mean, the God Press if he wants to. For some, I mean, if he wants to spare you the pain, you can just do this instead, and that's like kills you a little bit faster. So yeah, classic Omega Rugel is absolutely busted, like way overpowered. Again, it could also OTG with his fireball, and the fireball on the OTG sends you flying. Oh yeah, exactly. So yeah, Geese, again, it just has too many ways to just keep you out and too many ways to get away. So you like he's gonna constantly damage you with moves that you really can't avoid, and you can never approach him because he's gonna move way faster than you, and that's gonna be the matchup. So Dark Geese made a very good point about like this character seems fine, but if you play him at high level, he becomes increasingly busted the better you get, and if you have perfect execution, or, well, really good execution, you're not going to be able to touch this guy. He's just going to, you know, chip you to death for the whole match. Let's see. Omega is one of the few characters that can juggle, which is Rugel, so good luck. Yeah. He's one of the few characters that has a reliable juggle. Especially, like, did you see the range on that fucking thing? The arm? That thing reaches way further than it probably should. Let's see here. We have Saishu Kusanagi. He has some of my favorite lines, but I think they botched them in this. I also have Shin Gensai, who's pretty interesting. And we have Shingo Yabuki. Shingo has an interesting thing in this game where he can get critical hits, which is sort of like him getting a counter hit, even though it wasn't. And it's completely random. I think this is the only game where he actually has that feature. Like, he's famous for having the critical hits, but I think this is actually the only game where he truly has it. In the other games, it's like he sometimes gets a flame when he does the Aragami, but it's only the Aragami, and if he gets the flame, it's like super good. There's a lot of RNG in King of Fighters. And speaking of RNG, here's a character. Let's see. Yeah, let's just pick. You had it to know too as well. I don't think so. Pretty sure he doesn't, actually. So this character has an interesting move. Let's see here. Shermie stand. Oh yeah, she didn't get her crazy stuff, like she doesn't have the booba throw in this yet. She instead has she's a grappler. Super fast grappler. Some of these attacks are so fucking quick you can't even see them before she's like, you see the speed on this fucking throw? Like, she's halfway into the throw animation before you even realize she landed a move. Like, by the time you realize she's hitting you with something, she's already halfway through a grab. She has Shermie Whip. This thing, that's a hit throw. Booba throw is an anti-air. Yeah, it actually is, because it has a hitbox that's really high up. For obvious reasons. She has the knee. She's actually pretty straightforward in this, like, kind of simple. She doesn't have her gimmicks yet. Now, let's see. Is this the one? Let's get his health back. Come on, Yashiro. Come on. Is this the one? Ah, okay. Yeah, in some games, when she does this throw, I couldn't remember if it was this one or King of Fighters 2002, but you saw how she did a suplex into a pin, classic wrestling move. And if she does the one where she says 1, 2, 3, in some of the games, you have to press a button to kick out of the pin. You can do basically anything, like any button will do. Any button will do. But if you don't, and she counts to 3, you just lost that character. You will just lose by pinfall. It will take your entire health bar, and you just lose. She counts 1, 2, 3. If she gets to 3, your character just dies. It does like 8,000% health or some ridiculous number like that. It doesn't do it in this game, but it does in some versions of King of Fighters. I can't even remember if it does it in 98 Vanilla. But yeah, in some versions of the game, if she counts to 3, you just lost that character. Let's see, we'll be curious how the Orochi team will play in King of Fighters 15 as well. Oh yeah! I hope she gets the 1, 2, 3 in that one. I'm looking forward to seeing if she gets the 1, 2, 3 pin, because that would be amazing. Imagine you're playing King of Fighters 15, you get the 1, 2, 3 throw, and the opponent is trying to mash, but the match is really laggy, so the input doesn't register, and then they lose a character because it wouldn't register that they pressed the button. Zangief took that super for Street Fighter 5. Yeah, he actually did. He actually did. That was so weird how Zangief had his ultimate super and it's just a fucking suplex. Like, what the hell? Yeah, just imagine that. That would be so much fun. But yeah, Shermie is actually very, very basic in this. She gets a lot of like really cool tools later on. But in this one, she's like bare bones. She just has the usual stuff. Command throws, this fake out thing, or if you can even fake out. Can you even do that? Does she even have does she even have an anti-air? God. Let's see. Ah, she does have the anti-air. Okay, she actually has that at least. Shermie cute, Axel spin kick, Shermie shoot, Shermie whip. Yeah, she doesn't even have the additional command throw. She only has the half circle forward. Yeah, she's so sassy. Like, oh yeah, I was talking about her animations. I forgot who I talked with, but yeah, when she dances, she stands still, she dances like this. Like she's just trolling. And if you walk forward, she has this animation, and when she walks backwards, she's like doing this sassy walk where she actually turns around. Like she's not even facing the opponent, she's just sort of, kind of looking back at them. And this like cocky strut. So she has some sassy moves. We can check out the last super. Let's see, Shermie Flash or oh yeah, regular suplex. Let's see here. No? Yeah, just that's the other one. I'm not sure what the difference is. I think it's one of them is invincible and the other one has more range or something like that. But they are both very similar. They're just command growth. Let's see. We should think about wrapping up. So what are we gonna do for the last 15 minutes or so? We looked at Leona. We looked at Clark for a little bit. We looked at Kasumi, Rugel, Takuma, of course, Hydern. We did the My Story. Well, there is King, I guess. King, I also have maybe stories, but King has become a staple of my characters. My main team in most games, if the characters are available, are King, Rio, and Mary. In that order, usually. King is usually up front. Rio is like in the middle because he likes having meter. King can definitely use meter as well, but she's one of those characters where her supers are like really situational. One thing I like a lot about this game that they didn't include in 2002 once again, even though they already did this version of the game, is that they made it so that we have the Mirage Illusion, I think it's called, or Illusion Dance, this thing. Let's see, Getzeli says, the German is invincible and the chain suplex has more range and you can combo into it. Oh yeah. So I couldn't remember which one does what. But yeah, I think the German, because she jumps up into the air, like that's the one that makes you invincible. But yeah, so King has this move. It has crazy amounts of startup. Like, it's really slow. Like, you cannot combo into this thing to save your life. It does not happen. What this move does is that it has more invincibility than fucking anything in any game almost. It's very rare to actually get hit out of this thing. This thing can beat, again, it can beat the Genocide Cutter clean, and usually does. Like, even the Genocide Cutter will almost always lose to this move. It's really, really invincible, but it's also really slow. So what they did for this game, is they gave you a faster version that you can use for combos. You saw how fast that was? You use the light kick version, and she just instantly goes forward. She doesn't do the backflip. This one does not have invul, but it's really fast. Like, it's not even hard to combo into at all. It's really, really crazy fast. They did not give her this version for King of Fighters 2002 properly, so she still has supers that are pretty eh. They also fixed this move. Like, one thing that would often happen in vanilla King of Fighters 98 is if you did this specific combo, you would get this hit, but then the second, like this flash kick at the end would whiff because it didn't go forward. You see, like this, it has this range and she flips back as well. So you would often miss this. But in this version, they make it so that when she does the flash kick, she actually goes forward. So if you get a glancing hit with this thing, you almost always get the follow-up as well. See how far away I can be. Somewhere here. That's the max range. Somewhere here. Come on, a little bit closer. Yeah, that happened all the time in King of Fighters 98, where you would get the first hit and then the second one just whiffs. But in this one, you almost always get the second hit. EX King is better in this game. Is she really though? I thought the EX characters, for the most part, unless they're Geese and Mary, are like the best ones. I know I've seen tournament players use King, but I seem to remember that the tier list was actually like almost all of the EX characters are actually like bottom tier. But yeah, hating that so much. So King also has King also is made out of anti-airs. Her whole character is a fucking walking anti-air. So you have this move, the natural anti-air that everybody has. You also have this. Goes straight up, hits people in the air. If they jump in, it's also really fast. This one can also hit people in the air because she goes like way up there. It actually works better than you think. You also have this one. That is also a fucking anti-air because the hitbox on her foot is way outside of what the animation actually suggests. It's really good for stopping hyper hops. If you're spamming this, it's like impossible to try to do a hyper hop. You're just gonna get hit by this all the time. She also has this, that's also an anti-air. She also has her straight punch, which hits people that jump a lot. It's gonna hit them in the leg a lot of the time. If they're too close, she's gonna do this instead. That also hits people in the air exceptionally well because she hits them like straight up. This thing also works if you're somehow close enough. Because if they're jumping but you're close enough, she's gonna do the second kick super fast. Like she's just gonna abandon the first one and go for the second one right away with no hit stun. So this character is like, unless you're doing like the slide, which is also sort of an anti-air tool, but it's more about like if you do the slide, they can jump. They may end up jumping over you. EX King has a command throw, and that command throw combos into Fireball Super. That's about it. Normal King 98 lacked combos compared to future games. Yeah. But like I said, this version of King actually has some decent combos because you can actually combo into her fucking supers now, and it actually works. But either way, she's not that sort of character anyway. She's more about harassing you with fireballs, anti-airing you. Oh yeah, this is also an anti-air. Like, I swear to God, this character is made out of anti-airs. You just cannot jump against this character. And she has this thing as well. So she's one of those characters where she's gonna bruise you really badly. She's gonna, like, you know, make you work. She's gonna toss fireballs all day, and she's just gonna anti-air you when you try to jump over them, and then you're back to blocking fireballs again. So, she's really good at that, but yeah, her combo game is pretty terrible. She's much better at it than this, though. Like, she can actually combo off of light attacks in this. Like, that's fast enough. And that's fast enough. So, you know, she's got stuff. Surprise throws for the memes, yeah. This thing has gone back and forth from being a special move to a super so many times. Also this has also gone from being special move to a super a couple of times. Sometimes she only has the one fireball and the double fireball is the super. I'm trying to think of something nice to end with. But yeah, how has the stream been working out? Have you had any buffer issues at all? Challenge, achievement. Oh yeah, I don't have any achievements in this version. I'm playing the GOG version, which is the DRM free version. Must be something cool we can do for the last bit. Let's see here. Extra characters. We do have the additional Mai here. Additional King. Additional Yuri. Additional Robert. There's so many EX characters in this, it's actually ridiculous. You have EX Kyo, EX Terry, EX Andy, EX Joe, EX Robert, and Robert, Yuri, and Rio. Like, almost the whole, almost the entire top row has hidden characters. Almost the whole row. It's only these two that don't have hidden characters. And then you got a couple of hidden down here again. This whole team. This whole team. Even Yori has Wild These guys don't, of course. Krauser doesn't need an EX version. He already has everything. There's nothing left to give him. He has every single tool he ever had, and then some. Rugel, of course. Shingo. Maybe Kyo Iori special intro? So many cool intros. I love how they did that. It was so much easier to get into the game because if the characters had a special intro, you knew they had some story together, so it was much easier to figure out their relationships between the characters. Like apparently oh yeah, we can do that one, I guess. Apparently the this animation, the glitched animation, where Leona does the salute to Chang for no reason, because they have no relationship whatsoever. Apparently that was a glitch, I mean obviously, but SNK decided, yeah, we don't do glitches, we do features, but Leona, she knows that Chang has a military title because he's Korean, and if you're Korean, military enrollment is mandatory, and this guy got a medal, and she knows that. So there it is. It's not a glitch. It's part of the story now. It's part of the story. The guy's Korean. Being drafted into the military in South Korea is mandatory, and he had some officer grade or something, and Leona happens to be familiar with the fact that he's like some military officer, and that's why she salutes him. Problem solved. That was the reason. Because they didn't want to remove it, so this is still present, where she salutes Chang, and they just had to come up with the story reason that it's total bullshit, but it's like they just happen to know that, yeah, if you're in South Korea, it's very difficult to avoid being drafted into the military, and because Chang is a Korean, they decided, yeah, okay, so he was a big deal in the military for a little bit, and Leona just happens to recognize that he's one of those guys. Because he's also military, and that's why he gets a salute. And it's just, okay. Never mind then. So, that story I thought was funny, because SNK acted like they clearly made a mistake that they didn't intend, and they just bullshitted their way through it, because they never acknowledged glitches. But that one was clearly a mistake. Yeah. Do we have any requests? We have 5 more minutes. Give me something. You want to see something? You want me to try something? Maybe a glitch I don't know about? Maybe some sort of strat that I don't know about? Anything? There's so much fun stuff in this game. Okay. Since we didn't get any response, we're gonna go, we're gonna try to get Athena Special Super. And maybe Z Kenso Special Super. If he even has it in this version. More. Forever alone, Kenzo. She's right there, and she does not even acknowledge him. So Athena has a special super that you sometimes get. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Let's see. Can I stop messing up? Pretty sure it's 2 half circles. 2 half circles. 2 half circles. There we go. Okay. I think you might have to do the... Yeah, this is the one. Oh my god. Yeah, let's do this instead. Oh. I'm terrible with tap circles. I always do the shortcuts if I can. But it's been a while. Yeah, there we go. Special super. You might think that that's just she burns up her clothes and she wears a bikini, but that's like a reference to Psycho Soldier, the first game she was ever in, which also featured Kenzo. And his outfit from King of Fighters 12 and 13 is actually the outfit he wears in that game. It seemed like such a weird choice for him to have like green, red, like Chinese clothes, but it's actually the outfit that he started with. You play Psycho Soldier and you pick him as player 2, you will see him use that outfit. One last thing, and then we'll wrap things up. Didn't actually think to check this out before. He has meat dumplings. And there was one version that never made sense to me. So this just gives him health back. And he does this and he loses health, and I never understood what the point of this move was. Like, why would you spend meter to lose health? What is this move actually supposed to do? Because he ends up hurting himself. But if you can, yeah, like this. If you can actually see your health. Oh yeah, you see that? You see that? You do this move, he hurts himself. He gets health back and then he hurts himself. What does this move actually do? I never understood this at all. You gain health, you lose health, and you're just standing there. What is up with this attack? Are you supposed to do something? Are you supposed to buffer it? Yeah, if anybody knows, let me know. This move has always been a mystery to me. Why would you spend 2 bars to get health back and then hurt yourself? That's dumb. I'm pretty sure there's a trick to it, like there's no way that they would just have this to troll you because you're spending 2 bars. But I actually have no idea what this is for. It doesn't seem very random either, it just seems like he just hurts himself, like every time. In the later games he would do different animations and it would be randomized, where you could get health back and then have like a quick recovery. Or you would randomly get like a long recovery where he would just stand there feeling good about himself and trolling the opponent and they could just hurt him. But in this one, it doesn't seem like it's random at all. He just always takes damage. And the game doesn't... the game doesn't give you anything either. It just says eat meat dumplings. Double quarter circle back punch. Maybe if you press a different button? That's a heavy punch. And this is light punch. Yeah, nope. Nope. Doesn't appear to do anything. Either way, that's all we have time for today. So I'm gonna wrap things up. No. Yeah, this game is available on everything. Though to get the final edition, you actually have to get the PC version. But if you just want King of Fighters 98, it's whatever console or gaming device that you have on you right now. King of Fighters 98 is probably on it. somewhere. But if you want final edition, the best one, by far the best one, you have to get it on PC, either GOG or Steam. They both have those versions of King of Fighters. GOG actually has their own versions of King of Fighters 13 and 14 called Galaxy Edition, respectively. It's both a DRM-free version of King of Fighters 13 and 14, and it has online play. Somehow. So yeah, I'm totally plugging for GOG right now because, I don't know, I'm gonna ask him for sponsorship money. If you hear this, GOG, yeah, please send me checks to this address. Hashtag Muso Monday at hexelf.com on Twitter. Yeah, I take PayPal. Steam is better. I mean, I really like my games DRM free, because if Steam ever stops being a thing, which it will eventually, all of your Steam games will be absolutely useless. But if GOG stops being a thing, all of their games will still be available because there's no DRM at all. Those games will exist for as long as somebody has access to the ROMs. So, I like GOG a lot. 13 and 14 of Galaxy is interesting, but I don't know if who has played on those. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's not crossplay. It's Galaxy. It's their own thing. But still, I think that's really cool that SNK actually, like, you know, like, oh yeah, you're not on Steam. We can work with that. What do you have? Oh, you have this client called Galaxy? Okay, we'll make a version that works with Galaxy. And you can call that King of Fighters 14 Galaxy Edition. How about that? I actually thought that was really cool. So, you know, it's one company that I like that ends up helping another company that I also like, and it's just, yeah. SNK Appreciation, everybody. So, yeah, thank you for tuning in. It seems like the stream has been going pretty well so far. Did you have any issues today, or did we finally iron out those bugs? Have you had any buffer issues? I like my games DRM free, but I meant about the version because most are on Steam. Yeah, well, there's gonna be an update. King of Fighters 98 UMFE is gonna be the best version on Steam shortly once they add a rollback netcode, just like they did for 2002 UM. But 2002 UM, you do not need to have the PC version because all the UMs are, you know, the same one. It's just that Final Edition 98 is only on PC. You can't get it for the PS4 yet. So, you know, there's no console version of that. The fact that Final Edition is even a thing is actually insane, considering how it got made. Apparently the guys that made King of Fighters UMFE on Steam, they worked backwards from, like, what was that, a console version of UM, and then they implemented the patches from the arcade version of FE, and they just went through all of the patch notes and they recreated it on, like, the PS2 version or some crazy stuff. As like, you weren't even porting the arcade version. You were patching a console port, a faulty console port, like the one that didn't even run properly. You took that and you turned it into the best arcade version. How the hell did you pull that off? Because they didn't even have access to the arcade version. They just had the patch notes and they had to, like, make the game more like that. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna see if Arya is still streaming, and I'll send you guys over there. Let's see. Oh, they're not online? That's a shame. Ah, feels bad. But yeah, anyway, thank you. I will see about doing more SNK appreciation in the future. I got some really nice suggestions. Shock Troopers came up. Getzelia suggested that, and oh my god, I love Shock Troopers. The original game is so good. It is. I actually think Shock Troopers, the first game, is better than some of the Metal Slug games. Not all of them, but it's certainly better than 5. For sure. Like, I'll play Shock Troopers over Metal Slug 5 any day of the week and twice on Sunday. So we might do that. I'm thinking we could have, like, I don't know, SNK Sunday, SNK Saturday. Mostly because I was already thinking about, like, maybe settling on a day for streaming and a time on the weekend. So let me know what would be good for you. Should I do the usual 2 p.m. Eastern time? Is that good? Should I do it later? Should I do it earlier? Do you have a preference for the day? Let me know. If you would prefer Saturday or Sunday, and like maybe morning or evening. Because I could consider doing that, because I can definitely play SNK games until the world ends. I've been doing it for how long is that now? The Neo Geo came out in '89, and that was 32 years ago. So yeah, I've been playing Neo Geo games on and off for the last 32 years. I'm 39, so you know, there was a time for 7 whole years when I wasn't playing SNK games. And that was 32 years ago. So yeah, let me know what you think. Either way, take care and thank you for tuning in. Let me know if there were any issues with the stream, and let me know if you what games you want me to play from the SNK side. So yeah, definitely done now. Take care. Yeah.